Hello dear students, as you all know we are doing chapter number 7, alternating current. Today it is going to be the last part of the chapter. In this part we are going to solve numericals of the chapter alternating current. From tomorrow I will start the next chapter, that is electromagnetic waves. So let us solve some numericals. I was going through NCERT and I found that till question number 11 there is nothing. Okay, all the questions are like put the value, get the result, just give it a try, give them a try, you'll be able to solve. Okay, now let us go to straight away the question number 7.13. 7.13. From that question I want you to learn also something. So let us start question number 7.13. What the question is says that 7.13. Question says that a coil of inductance 0.50 Henry and resistance 100 ohm. Okay, what are the values we are having? We are having the value of inductance, and its inductance value is L is equal to 0.50 Henry and resistance is given 100 ohm. Is connected to a voltage of 240 volt. Since nothing is there, so we consider it as VRMS 240 volt and the frequency is given 50 Hertz. Okay, question says what is the maximum current in the coil? I naught is being asked. This is the first part, and the second part is what is the time lag between the voltage maximum and the current maximum? Time lag between V0 and I0. So this is the question. Okay. Now let us try to solve it. First of all, what kind of circuit is this? One inductor is connected, one resistor is connected. So basically it is a LR circuit. Okay. Now in LR circuit, the value of maximum current is given by V0 upon under root XL square plus R square. Okay, so value of V0 need to be calculated. The value of V0 can be calculated like we know that the formula VRMS is equal to V0 by root 2. From here that V0 is equal to what? VRMS root 2. Value of VRMS is 240 volt. And value of root 2 is root 2. So this is the value of V0 volt. What is XL? XL is equal to omega L, which is further equal to 2 pi FL. Okay. So now just put the values. 2 multiplied by pi it is 3.14. Multiply by F it is 50. Multiply by 0.50. Okay. So this is the, when you multiplied all of them, what you are going to have? So if you multiply all of them, you are going to have what? 157 ohm. The value of R is already given 100 ohm. Now from here, if you calculate the value of I0, it comes out to be value of V0 is 240 under root 2 upon under root 157 whole square plus 100 square. So value of I0 can be calculated from here. Okay, let there be an assignment, work given to you, a task given to you. Just calculate it, you will get the value of I0. Okay, this is not a big deal in this question. What I want you to understand is the second part. Okay, second part according to me is very important, and it is something which is not being told during the regular class. That's why I think to tell you the second part. The first part is merely only calculation. The first part is calculation only. Okay. The conceptual part was not there, but the second part is conceptual. What is the time lag between the V0 and I0? What is the time lag between the V0 and the I0? Okay. So let us understand how that LR circuit works. If we draw the phasor, current in this direction, we are in the same direction, VL in this direction, then we take the resultant of these. So we have resultant like this. This angle is going to be phi. So phi is the phase difference. Phi is what? Phi is the phase difference. Now phi corresponds to what amount of time? Phi corresponds, if I write the equation of voltage, V is equal to what? V naught sin omega t. And if I write the current, then I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus phi. When this voltage will be maximum? When omega t will be pi by 2. When this current will be maximum? When omega t minus phi is equal to pi by 2. Okay? So, for V is equal to V naught, which is maximum. Okay? So, omega t1, suppose it happens at t1. So, omega t1 must be equal to what? Pi by 2. So, from here, that t1 is equal to what? Pi by 2 omega. Let this be equation number 1. In the same manner, when the current will be maximum, for I must be equal to I naught, let at omega t2 it will happen, omega t2 minus phi is equal to what? Pi by 2. From here, if you calculate the value of t2, then it comes out to be phi is going to be there, that will be added. So we are going to have pi by 2 omega plus phi by omega. Have you got that? Minus phi is transferred over that side, it will become plus, and then omega is transferred to that side, pi by 2 omega plus phi by omega. Now let this be equation number 2. What is the time lagging? Just see, voltage maximum happens at pi by 2 omega time only, but the current maximum happens pi by 2 omega plus phi by omega. So what is the extra time that current takes? Time lag. Delta t is equal to what? T2 minus T1. If you subtract T2 minus T1, what you are going to have? You are going to have phi by omega. So this is the formula. From the next time, whenever someone asks what is the time lag between voltage maximum and current maximum, so this is the formula: phi upon omega. Okay, and if you put the value of omega in terms of time period, so it will be phi by 2 pi into capital T. Phi by 2 pi into capital T. So this is the formula, right? So what is the need? Need is to calculate the value of phi, to calculate the value of t. Okay, to calculate the value of phi and to calculate the value of t. Or you can write in terms of frequency if you are able to write. So phi is equal to 2 pi f. So now just see, f is given. It is 50 Hertz. What do you need to calculate? You need to calculate what is the value of phi, the phase difference between the voltage and the current. And for that, I have told you, let me remove here. For that, I have already told you that tan phi is given as XL upon Z. So Z is equal to what? Tan phi is equal to XL upon R. What is the value of XL? XL is 157. What is the value of R? It is 100. So tan phi is equal to what? 1.57. So phi is equal to what? Tan inverse 1.57. So this is the value of phi. Just put it over there. So we are going to have delta T is equal to tan inverse 1.57 upon 2 pi into 50. 2 pi into 50, it will be 100. 100 multiplied by pi, it will be 314. So it will be tan inverse 1.57 upon 314. So as per me, this is your answer, because tan inverse, value of tan inverse we cannot calculate, right? The value of tan inverse 1.57 we cannot calculate, and that is why we are going to take this as our answer, tan inverse 1.57 upon 340. Okay, this is a solution of question number 7.13. Now let us move to the next question. Now let us solve the question 7.11. Although it is not a question which is very conceptual. All the things are given. You just need to put the values and get the result. But I thought to tell you one question like that. Then also after that you'll be able to solve every question. So question says that the figure shows a series LCR circuit connected to a variable frequency 230 voltage source. Figure shows a series LCR circuit. How that figure is? Let me make that figure. This is your resistance. There is a source. Okay. EMF. One inductor is connected and one capacitor is connected. Okay, this is your R, this is your C, this is your L. Now it is being given that the source voltage and nothing is given, we are considering it as RMS voltage 230 volt. L is equal to 5.0 Henry, C is equal to 80 microfarad and R is equal to 40 ohm. Okay, these all are things are given. Now what is being asked? Let me do it one by one. The question part A. What is being asked? Determine the source frequency which drives the circuit in resonance. Determine the source frequency which drives the circuit in resonance. How we can calculate that? Resonance frequency F is given by 1 upon 2 pi under root LC. Just put the values. L is given, C is also given. So 1 upon 2 pi under root, the value of L is given 5 Henry. So it is 5 multiply by value of C, it is 80 microfarad, need to be converted in farad. So 80 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6. 80 multiplied by 5, it will become 2 pi. It will become 400 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6. If we square root of it, then we are going to have 20 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3. 10 to the power minus 3 goes in the numerator. It becomes 10 to the power 3. 22 is a 40. 40 into pi. So 10 to the power 3 is what? 1000 upon 40 into pi. 1010. 4 will cut this one 25 times. So F comes out to be 25 upon pi hertz. If you feel like, you can put the value of pi and you can solve it also. Okay, so this is the answer of the first part. Now the second part, what is being asked in the second part? Second part says that obtain the impedance of the circuit and amplitude of the current in the resonating frequency. Obtain the impedance of the circuit and amplitude of the current at the resonating frequency. Now if you know the properties of resonating frequency at resonating frequency, the impedance of the circuit is equal to R only, because XL and XC they cancel each other. So the impedance of the circuit, that is Z, is equal to what? 40 ohm. Okay. Now it is being asked what is the amplitude. So what is the amplitude of current at the resonating frequency? So amplitude of the current I0 will be given as V0 upon R, and V0 can be given as Vrms into root 2 upon R. Why is it so? Because Vrms is equal to V0 by root 2. So V0 is equal to what? Vrms into root 2. So value of Vrms is given 230 voltage. Value of root 2 is 1.41, or let it be root 2. Upon what? 40. The resistance is 40. Right? So this will cut, 0, 0 will cut, and 4 will cut 23. 4 5s are 20, 4 7s are 28, 4 5s are 20, root 2. So this is the value of I0, ampere. You can put the value of root 2, you can multiply and get the result, get the answer whatever given in the NCERT, but this can also be considered as our answer. Right? The next thing is determine the RMS potential drop across the three elements of the circuit. Show that the potential drop across the LC combination is 0 at the resonating frequency. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to calculate the potential drop across L as well as potential drop across R. Okay. For calculating potential drop, we must need XL and XC. Okay. The value of current already we are having. Value of maximum current we are having. So we must calculate the RMS also, so that we can calculate maximum potential drop. No, potential drop is being asked. So we need to calculate what is the value of current flowing at the resonating circuit, in the resonating circuit C part. First of all, we need to calculate I, which is equal to V upon R. Okay, I, which is V upon R. Why is it so? Because this is RMS. IRMS I am going to calculate. So IRMS is equal to VRMS upon R. From current only we will calculate the potential drop across the inductor and the capacitor. So IRMS is equal to, the value of VRMS is 230 and value of R is 40. 0 and 0 will be cancelled out. 423, 4 5s are 20, 330, 4 7s are 28, 4 5s are 20, 5.75 ampere. This is the value of IRMS. Right? Now potential drop across L, VL will be given as IRMS multiplied by XL. Value of IRMS we are having, but we are not having the value of XL. So value of XL can be written as omega naught into L. Okay, omega naught into L. Now we need to calculate what is the value of omega naught. Okay, and the value of omega naught was equal to, we have calculated now, I have removed. Okay, let us calculate it once again. IRMS value of omega naught we have calculated, right? It was let me calculate it, or let us put it and solve it. The value of omega naught is 1 upon under root LC multiplied by L. Now value of IRMS, value of IRMS is what? 5.75. Now if we cut this L, we are going to have under root L upon C. Okay, so 5.75 multiplied by under root L, it is 5 Henry, and C, it is 80 microfarad. So 80 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 6. 5 will cut 80 16 times. Now I am going to have 5.75 upon a square root of 16, 4. Square root of 10 to the power minus 6 will become 10 to the power 3, and it will be in the numerator. Now 4 will cut 1000. 10 to the power 3 is 1000. So 5750 upon 4. If you cut this, 4 ones are 4, 1 17, 4 4s are 16, 1 15, 4 3s are 12, 4 3s are 12. Again we have got 330, 4 7s are 28, 4 5s are 20. So 1437.5 volt. This is the potential drop across inductor. Okay, this is the potential drop across the inductor. Now we have to calculate potential drop across the capacitor. Potential drop across the capacitor. So VC will be equal to IRMS into XC. So IRMS is what? 5.75. For XC we can write 1 upon omega naught into C. Now 5.75, for 1 upon omega naught we can put under root LC upon C. So it will be what? 5.75 into under root L upon C, and just we have solved that, 5.75 under root upon LC. So it is going to be what? VC is equal to, we have solved it, it is 1437.5 volt. So these two voltages comes out to be equal. These two voltages comes out to be equal, and they are opposite in phase. We have done in phasor diagram. They are opposite in phase. So basically they cancel each other. They cancel each other, and what we are going to have, the resultant of these two will be 0. So total voltage will be dropped across resistor, which is IRMS multiplied by R. Value of IRMS is 5.75 multiplied by 40. If you multiply it, you will get 230 volt. So all the voltage will be dropped across the resistor, and the resultant of voltage of inductor and the capacitor will be 0 because they are equal and they are opposite in phase. Okay, so these can be asked in a resonating CLCR circuit. Right? Now all the other questions are like that only. Okay, so I'm going to a very important question, and that question is 7.25. Question is 7.25. It is going to be the second last question. All the questions of alternating circuit is not that difficult, as it was there in the chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Okay, in this chapter questions are not that difficult. Only you need to know the formula. If you know the formula, then the questions are not that difficult. Just put the values and get the result. Okay, no more conceptual things are also there. Only one new thing was there, and that was time lag between voltage and current. I have told you the formula. The formula is phi upon omega. Just put the value of phi, put the value of omega, you will get the value of time lag. Now we are moving to the question number 7.25, and it is one of the very important questions for your boards. Very important. Okay, what is the question? Just see. Question says that a small town with a demand of 800 kilowatt. A small town is there which has a power demand of 800 kilowatt of electrical power at 220 voltage, and that voltage must be supplied at 220 voltage. Is situated 15 km away from an electric plant. Distance is 15 km from an electric plant. Generating power at 440 voltage, and the power of the plant, okay, power generated is 440 kilowatt, 440 voltage. Okay, so the question is, let me make the diagram also. Suppose this is your plant, power plant, right? Power plant. Okay, this is your a transformer set up at the plant. This is your line supply, right? And here one transformer is set up at the town. Maybe there will be a substation. Substation, yes. It is a substation. Substation. Okay, there is again a transformer. So this town needs a power of 800 kilowatt at 220 voltage. But this power plant is generating power at 440 volt. This distance is 15 km. Okay. The resistance of the two line wire carrying power is 0.4 ohm per kilometer. 0.4 ohm per kilometer. The town gets power from line through 4000 volt to 20 volt step down transformer. The transformer here, it is 4000 volt to 20 volt. 4000 volt, this transformer is a step down transformer, and it converts 4000 voltage into 220 voltage. What are the questions are being asked? Estimate the line power loss. So power loss, it is the first question. Second question is, how much power must the plant supply? Power supply, what should be there? Power supply. And the third question is, characterize the step-up transformer at the plant. Step-up transformer. A step-up transformer at plant. We need to find out these three things. Okay? So let us do it. First thing is, we need to calculate what is the power loss in form of heat. See, there are two line wire and length of each wire is 15 km. So total resistance will be 15 multiplied by 2, and the length of the resistance is 0.5 ohm per kilometer. This is total kilometer multiplied by 0.5. We are going to have 15 ohm. It should be 15 kilo ohm, I think. no 15 ohm, 15 ohm, right? So 15 multiplied by 2, that is a 30 kilometer, multiplied by 0.5. So total resistance, this is your R. Okay, this is your R. Now what is being asked? What is the power loss? What is the power loss? How we can calculate? Just see here. Here we are having 4000 volt, and this inductor is receiving 4000 volt, and 15 kilometer, the resistance of the wire is 15 ohm. Okay, so what is the current flowing? Shall we calculate the current? Shall we calculate the current? What is current flowing through this? Now the thing is, in a transformer, power is assumed to be constant. So 800 kilowatt power is this. This inductor must be having 800 kilowatt power. Power input must be equal to power output. So this is having a power of 800 kilowatt and its voltage is 4000 volt. So power is equal to V into I. So power is 800 kilowatt. So 800 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 watt is equal to 4000 volt multiplied by I. So I comes out to be what? 800 multiplied by 10 to the power 3 upon 4000. So 4000 will cut this 10 to the power 3. 4 will cut 800 by 200 times. So current comes out to be what? 200 ampere, which is a quite high current. Now what is this is the current flowing in this wire. So what is the power loss? It will be I square into R. So value of I square is 200 is square multiplied by R. So value of 200 is square is power loss. We are calculating 200 is square, it will be 4 into 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 15. 15 4s are 60 into 10 to the power 4, or we can write 600 into 10 to the power 3 watt, or we can write 600 kilowatt. So power is being lost is equal to 600 kilowatt. 600 kilowatt is power lost. Okay. Now this is having a power of 800 kilowatt. 600 kilowatt is the power which is lost. So what should be the power here? 800 kilowatt we are having. 600 kilowatt we have lost. So what should be the power here? The power plant must supply, power supply must be what it should be. So 800 kilowatt is the need and 600 kilowatt is the loss. If we add them, what we are going to have? 1400. We are going to have 1400 kilowatts. So this is the power supply. This should be the power supply, which is our second part of the question. What should be the power supply? Now the third is, what should be the step-up transformer at here? So power we know 1400 kilowatt. Current we know it is 200 ampere. So what is the voltage over here? Voltage over here. Let me remove here. First two part we have done. What should be the voltage over here? So power we know it is 1400 kilowatt. Okay. Current we know it is 200 ampere. So voltage is going to be 1400. Voltage is equal to what? Power upon current. So power is 1400 kilowatt. 1400 into 10 to the power 3 upon 200. 200 will be cancelled out. So we are going to have 2 sevens are 7 into 10 to the power 3, it is 7000 volt. So characterization will be the transformer at power plant must be 7000 volt, 440 volt to 7000 volt. At 440 volt it is generating power and 7000 volt is the need. So it must be having characterization of 440 volt and 7000 volt. Now the next part of the question is very interesting. I mean to say 7.26, which tell us how the power is being supplied. Question is, do the same exercise as above as the replacement of earlier transformer by 40,000 220 volt. Earlier it was 4,000 volt 220 volt. Now it is being 40,000 volt and 220 volt. So how we are going to calculate it? Suppose if it would have been 40,000, so we would have divided by 40,000 over here, then we would have got 20 ampere. In that case, it will be square of 20. So the current will be, the power loss will be, so it would have been 20 square. So 400 multiplied by 15, 400 multiplied by 15, it will be 1560. Then it will be what the answer would be in that case. Suppose if it is not 200, it is 20 only. So it will be 20 square, right? Multiply by 15. So 20 square it will be 400. 400 multiplied by 15, it will be 6,000 watt. And if you write it in terms of kilowatt, it will be 6 kilowatt only. Earlier the power loss was 600 kilowatt. But if we increase this 4,000 voltage to 40,000 volt, we increase 10 times, then the power loss reduces by 100 times. And that is why power is being supplied at always higher voltage. Okay, this is the, you can say, rough configuration how the power is being supplied. Is it clear? At power generator, at power plant, the power is generated at some voltage, then it is step up to 1,32,000 voltages, then it is step down to 11,000 voltage, then again it is step down to 220 voltage. Okay, once it is step up at the power station, then it is step down at substation, then again it is step down at the transformer which you are looking at, which you are looking in your areas. Okay, so this is all about the numericals of AC. So tomorrow we are going to study on electromagnetic waves. Okay, this is all for the day. Thank you.